وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. I'm Abdullah Oduro and welcome back. Before I embraced Islam, I used to say to myself that, I don't want to be in any organized religion. I don't want to be confined to a certain group of people. I don't want to be controlled or hypnotized or brainwashed with a certain religion. But at the same time, I knew that there was a higher power over me, that there was a greater power that had control over everything, that there was a deity, and that I had to show some type of acknowledgement of him. I also knew that I needed organization and structure. And if it was up to me, it wouldn't be consistent. It wouldn't be solid. But what happened is when I took the religion word out of the equation during my journey and during my questioning, that is when I embraced Islam. You see, when we look at religion, we have to look at those foundational elements in which, if those elements were not present, the religion wouldn't exist. When we look at Islam, we see that Islam starts and ends with the Shahada, meaning that Islam revolves around the oneness of God, that God is unique in every element, that he is unique in all of his characteristics, and what we say and what we do shows respect in light of that. So when looking at why should one embrace Islam, it's initially to show that reverence to God and having structure when performing that reverence and recognition of God. Allah says in chapter number 16, verse 36, "And verily we have sent to every nation a messenger proclaiming, worship Allah and avoid all false deities." The word false deities in this verse is taghut in Arabic, taghut. And that means that which goes beyond the bounds, whether it's the individual or creation asking or demanding to be worshipped, or an individual that gives their reverence, which should only be confined to God, to this form of creation. That is the taghut, or the false deity. So when we look at this, why one should take the Shahada is if they want to establish a foundation to be enriched by this knowledge of God and his uniqueness. So when you obtain this knowledge of God and take this Shahada, your heart is enriched with this oneness of God and the messengership of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, which gives you a foundation which will further make you a principled person of conviction. And this is paramount for establishing that relationship. So when we see the question of why someone should embrace Islam, or why do you pray 5 times a day? Why do you go to the desert 1,000 miles away? Why do you fast 30 days out of the year? Why do you make it an obligation for yourself to get married in order to establish a relationship with the opposite gender? Because we have that foundation, we do this with ease, and we do this understanding that that is a manifestation of worship and gratitude towards God. Secondly, it is a means of fortification. Once you've established that relationship based on the knowledge of God, you've enriched your heart. You fortify your heart by remembering the greatness of God, remembering his rights, remembering your rights, doing the best that you can, which strengthens that relationship. So the remembrance of that pillar, of that foundation, will strengthen you to further serve as an anchor. And that is where the process of conviction starts. So when we ask the question, why should someone embrace Islam? It's to establish that relationship of the knowledge of the oneness of God, and to strengthen that relationship through continuously attempting and trying to maintain that foundation. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through this declaration of faith that you've made, and through this strengthening of the faith through your actions, to keep you consistent on that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.